This is the most amazing single owner collection of radios and equipment that we are offering for sale here on the 17th of September. This all came from one house in Hastings, very near to us here, and was all collected over many years by Terry Ransom, whose family have kindly asked us to sell this collection for him. He was an enthusiast and president of his local radio collector society, and there are masses of items here. So it's all part of his collection, and I'll show you a few of the more interesting pieces. So we'll start nearest this end. There are things all along that are very interesting. Here is a First War period, it's a military US Army Signal Corps radio set. It all looks nice, original condition as well. Behind it, this is another military item, and I'm not even sure what this is, but actually if you look at the label, it's underwater detection establishment at Portland down in Dorset. And that's no idea what it's for though. There are many of these varying types of crystal sets as well in this collection, just in front of it, from not really radio connected, but these are all aircraft dials and gauges. Lots and lots of these various crystal cat's whisker type receivers, and we've got 4 of these Art Deco drum cased radios here, all real very stylish sculptural items as well. And here I think is probably the rarest item in the lot. Now, Terry Ransom knew Vic Mills, who was a laboratory assistant to John Logie Baird when he was developing television in the early part of the century, and this was one of his homemade creations and was made by Vic Mills and apparently for early television. And if you look in this book about the story of the Baird television, there's a picture of them in the laboratory, and just behind him is a very similar sort of device on the side there, and that's just like this one, but you can see it's all very homemade with components that they've just found in the laboratory. So that'll be the only one in existence of its type, and Logie Baird developed the television in Hastings, and that'll be something to do with it. Right next to it is a very good First War period trench radio with the headset, original case, fabulous condition, that one. And there's the military arrow on the bottom here as well, a shortwave set, very nice thing there as well. Next to it, there are things all along here that I've never seen before. Here is, this is a receiver for Morse Code. So this actually receives the Morse Code and prints it out on a paper tape. This is made by Siemens, who now make mobile phones. But a fabulous quality thing, and it's late 19th century, solid brass, with spare tapes underneath it as well. And right next to it, I think this could be equally a rare item. This is a Marconi, it's a spark gap generator. Now these were used on board ships mainly for transmitting signals over a great distance. So you would have a Morse code signalling button next to it, and every time you tap the button it generates a spark between these two rods here, and then that signal goes a great distance over the sea. And they had the identical model of this on board Titanic, and they're so powerful because this spark is so powerful that actually the Titanic was asked to stop transmitting signals because it was interrupting the signals from all the other ships in the area, and they're now not legal to use these because they're so powerful. But so this would date to the period of the Titanic, so about 1915, something like that. And these are ivory and brass wheels and dials on there as well. And if you look in the reconstruction of the Titanic Marconi radio room, you'll see one of these on the radio operator's desk. Above it here, these are another unusual item. I think these are called Uncle Tom radios. Although I could be wrong there. These are radio sets, and you tune the radio by, there's a coil around his hat here, so you move these up and down the coil, and underneath there are all the connections under there. These are made by Grafton, China, and we have two in this sale. And we have an Edison Gem wax cylinder player, so that plays the forerunner to the flat type of records. So these are wax cylinders, and it has a needle, just as a record player does, and plays it through this original aluminium trumpet. And there's the original cover as well for it. Next to it here, another radio set, and this type has the valves on the top here, so these glow, and these are all working as well. That's been tested, so that's a good thing. And in front of it, very unusual looking item here, this is called well, these are known as cruet set radios, and it should have a metal cover that goes over the top. This doesn't have the cover to it, but that's quite a good looking thing as well. These are interesting. So he's wired up these bulbs, okay, and there they are all lit. Beautiful items as well, aren't they? They generate some heat, so we don't leave these on for very long, but they're all working. And this one in the centre has a Masonic symbol. That's quite unusual, so I'll turn those off. And then quite a collection of these other sets as well. This one is by AJS, who it's a radio set, but they became better known for making motorbikes. Here are more radio and Morse signalling sets here. This is a Special Forces torch for signalling Morse Code. That's a speaker on the wall there. It's like a Chinese hat. And there are Marconi radio sets here as well. Loads of other items. This one's nice. This is worth a look because it relates to First World War again. This, so it has the military inscription on the side, and this would have been an aircraft radio, First War period. So this would have been carried on a biplane for transmitting. Interesting thing there. And then behind you, there's a whole selection of boxes of valves and tubes and interesting spares as well. These are called Geisler tubes, these unusual creations here. Just scan over this lot, there's masses of them. And these are being sold by the boxful. Lots of these meters here that we're selling by the boxful as well. And that incredible thing. Boxes and boxes of voltmeters. These are all being sold by the lot. So these are all, well, there's quite a few Marconi valves in there. A huge great valve there. And more on the floor, all vintage things as well. So these are all being sold on the 17th of September as a separate section of our antique sale. So the antique sale is over 2 days, and on the Thursday after the picture section at 2 o'clock we're going to be offering the radio collection here. It's all online now, so please have a browse through. Everything's photographed and there's more information online, and hope you find something. Thank you very much.